Welcome to the happy hour, everybody, right here at Sirius XM Fly. I'm HB. I've been talking about it all week. He is finally here.
Yay.
I've been bigging him up, showing him some love, and I'm basically just going to find out what his life is like outside the cameras when he just home chilling in some fly sweatpants and it's time to eat, hang out, and chill out. The one and only T.I. is here. Give it up, everybody. Man, thank you so much.
Man, thank you so much. It's my first time here at your show.
The first time. I was going to say that. You always
dope.
come by Sway in the morning and always show us some love, but this is the first time to the happy hour. It's my night show, and where we just talk about food. You're here on a Thursday. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's the hustle, like
there
your
you
show.
Go. It's
the hustle, and I can't even front. Like, I've learned so much from you, and I've never got a chance to look you in the eye and tell you that. Just watching you as a fan, watching you as a father, watching you as a husband, and watch you as a businessman. And I'll tell you why in each area. As a fan, you know, being from this area, I grew up in New Jersey, listening to your music. Me and my husband would just sit and be like, yo, look at this dude. Like, he wow, but it's control wow. And I loved it. You know, every time we would just watch you, a video would come out, we're like, yo, he's dope.
Controlled chaos.
Yeah, but it was just in a good way, because it always seemed premeditated, but not sneaky or dirty. It's like, I know where I'm going. Watch me work. So we admired you from that perspective of it. As a business,
I wish it was as strategic as you make it sound.
well, it looks like that for us. You don't know everything, you know, and that's why I said from a fan's eye.
Thank you.
Because we able to do that, you know. Just as a fan, you watch and appreciate it.
Sure.
As a father, I think that we all had opportunity, obviously, with your television show, and have a chance to look at your family and how you and Tamika raise your children, and bringing them up in the industry, aware obviously of who you guys are, but making them aware of parenting and respect and being in the household, but also kind of, to me, maybe extending some of the luxuries to them as children that you probably didn't have growing up.
Absolutely.
And a lot of us didn't have. So I always admired that about you as well. And I touched on the business side of it too, because it's hard after a certain point in this game as an artist. You know, you start to kind of look around, look at the people that you got working with you, look at some of the options, and in some cases look at your peers and be like, damn, he made $30 million. What am I doing? What y'all doing? You know, like, where am I at? And to me, you just been right along in that way. So
you just want to do dope shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you are estimating your level of success and achievement in numbers and numbers alone, I think that you lessening your impact.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? You just gotta be totally committed and dedicated to doing dope shit and contributing to the culture, the greatest extension of yourself and the greatest presentation of your art possible. And when you do that consistently, the money's gonna come. It can't not come. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why I never really got caught up in, you know, the rat race of how much money someone makes and how much, because ultimately, as long as I'm making enough for me and mine, I'm fine.
I was gonna ask you that, because you know they always have like these lists, like the Forbes list and the hip hop cash king.
I don't want to make it. I don't want to be on there.
Never crossed your mind, like even your ego, nothing.
I mean, ego, but that's, you know, you can't serve that. You know what I'm saying? Every time you serve your ego, you have the greatest potential for failure. You know what I'm saying? So I try to keep that kind of curbed as much as possible. As egotistical as I am, it becomes more of a challenge. But I just know that, man, as long as you are making as long as you're doing the most with what you have, you're doing the absolute most with what you have, then everything that you need is going to happen.
Which leads to the Grand Hustle. Congratulations on the show airing tonight.
Yeah.
What was the science behind that? I mean, you got an EP credit, so that's just not, you're not just showing up on set.
Right.
I know what takes into going to being an EP. So what was the science behind that?
I think, man, well, the suggestion came, well, okay, so all the team of executives that presently work for me, we're having a meeting, and all of the activity that surround us in business. You know, everybody has roles and responsibilities and deliverables and obligations. So, you know, it's kind of like we were missing some like deadlines. You know what I'm saying? And what they said was it wasn't enough hands on deck. It was more responsibilities than there were for people to go around. And you know, they say, man, we need some help. You know, and I'm like, why? And it's like, because I haven't been home. I'm like, well, me neither. You know, so. But then I said, okay, well, tell me, where would you get help from? You pull from the pool of talent that exists in film, in television, in fashion, in music. Where would you, like, what kind of expertise do you need help where? And no answer. I say, I tell you, I do you one better. Where would you seek to find this level of talent? Would it be in the formally trained institutions of Ivy League colleges and HBCUs, or is it the organic, tenacious, gritty,
get it out the
unavoidable, never say die education that come from the school of hard knocks? Which one? So that conversation, us going back and forth about, you know, how to go about finding help, triggered in my mind, this would be a great idea for a TV show. So
dope. And it's airing tonight, y'all, on BET. T.I. is here hanging out in the happy hour. More up next. It's the happy hour right here, Sirius XM Fly. I'm HB. T.I. is here hanging out with us. You talked a little bit about being formally educated. Right. Did you go to college at all?
No, I didn't. I dropped out of high school. I got my GED in prison.
What? Really?
Yeah, but I mean, I graduated at the top of my class. I was the valedictorian of the GED class.
What year in high school did you?
Summa cum laude.
Did you know what? You crazy. What year in high school did you leave?
I was supposed to graduate in 99. I was out of there in 97.
Were you not scared? I think about that because I grew up in the house with two parents, you know, right. And my parents actually, they got divorced on my way to high school, going to high school, but my dad bought a house around the corner to keep an eye on us. No, that's why I said I respect you as a father too, and I'll get into that. I mean, as a husband as well, and I'll get into that. I would have been scared to come home because the whole time in high school I wanted to be a rapper. So I'm like, yo, I got to get to New York. Yo, Biz Marquis performing. I got to meet somebody. And school wasn't on my mind, but I was too scared to drop out. You had no fear, none of that?
I don't know how to say this. After I got to a certain age, you know, it wasn't nothing nobody could do with me. I didn't have the level of consequence that, you know what I'm saying? I would really like doing my own thing, running, you know. My grandparents, you know, they were too old to really know what was going on and what to watch out for. And my mom, I think that, I mean, it's at a certain point, I feel like she kind of did more praying than anything, you know, and especially when I got into the drug trade, you know, when she found out I was selling crack, she was scared to death. But she did acknowledge the need for groceries and help with bills, and we was welfare food stamp Section 8. So everything that was coming in was necessary, it was needed. And I mean, that's kind of that need, that necessity, the lack of the resources that I needed from day to day to know, you know, what we gonna eat. And I accepted that responsibility very early. You know, by the time I started selling candy, when I was in like fourth, fifth grade, I started selling candy, and my goal was to make $20 a day, so I could have $100 by the end of the week. You know what I'm saying? And that $100 would, you know, get me and my mama by. You know what I'm saying? And then it went from candy to crack, and I learned that, you know, $100 worth of crack could make me $250. So I kind of that profit margin was much better in the the return on investment was much more
That
expedient.
ROI. Yeah.
This is much more expedient than, you know, my candy sales. So my attention shifted.
Did you have any siblings? You keep saying you and your mom.
Nah, just me and my mama. I mean, my dad had more children. You know, I have a younger brother who he's 11 years younger than me, and I have several older sisters. But in my house where I grew up, it was just me and my mama.
Man, all that time you done stop by the Sway in the Morning Show. I never knew that about you. Thank you so much for sharing.
On.
Love it.
My
T.I.
pleasure.
is here hanging out with me in the happy hour, y'all. More up next. It's the happy hour right here, Sirius XM Fly HB. They're telling Christine we only have 3 more minutes, but we got T.I. here, so you know we'll see what happens with that. You know what? I promised that I would talk to you more about hanging out at home, being a husband, being a father, which makes me understand now why you are so involved in your kid's life, and I respect you even more than that. Obviously, things in the tabloids and all this different stuff, I don't care about that, because as a married woman as well, I understand that things happen, things should be kept in your home, and so that's how I feel about that.
It's really the level of attention that outsiders pay to
Too
it,
much attention,
more so than how we deal with it internally. We can get, there's no catastrophe that we can't get through together. Now, you know, the commentary and observation and just the sensationalizing that others do to it only complicates matters and muddies the water even more. You know what I mean? So it's, you know, she and I ain't never really tripping to the point that the media be tripping. And lots of time we sit there and we laugh. You know what I mean?
But that's what y'all supposed to do, because I tell folks all the time, when you marry, that's what married folks really do. They ain't tripping as much as everybody else is tripping over the relationship. So a lot of times it gets, you know, elevated in the public eye.
I mean, separate or apart, we together.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that understanding is something that is an intimate understanding that it takes for us to know, and I can't expect everybody to understand that. No, she does, but I act more from a point of logic. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's challenging and annoying, to say the least.
Got it. Well, I'm asking you about home a little bit because I wanted to know too, like, what do you eat? Like when you, I'm imagining, because I watched the show and seen it a million times, but I never see you like, is it collard greens? Is it macaroni and cheese? Is it chicken? Is it pork chop? What's your go-to? Like, I'm home, I want to eat. I mean, I don't eat meat. I stopped eating meat a couple years ago. What?
Yeah, really? I don't eat chicken, beef, turkey, only fish.
What was brought on, health issue or just?
Nah, it wasn't an issue. It was just, I mean, for one, I just really don't trust all the outside
stuff,
just pesticides and steroids and other stuff.
Yeah, the stuff.
That we don't know about that goes into the food that we eat. And I started feeling like old and sluggish and tired. So, you know what I mean? I've read and heard from other people that, you know, when they stop eating meat, that helped with that. And I tried it and it did.
Yeah, I stopped eating beef and pork about 28 years ago.
Okay.
It changed everything, to your point. And then I stopped eating chicken. This will be my 4th year.
What?
And you're right. It does. It changed everything. I haven't put down the alcohol yet.
Yeah,
I'm
me
a
neither.
work in progress.
You know what? It was either meat or alcohol. So I let the meat
this
go.
This is right here, the happy hour. I love it. What's your drinking choice, though? I got to ask.
You know, I like a good scotch.
Next
like
time
a good
you come,
scotch. Macallan 18.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Next time you come back, I promise. I got you. Make you a nice fish dish and some Macallan.
Man, I sure appreciate that.
I got you, T.I. I love you always, and so much
Likewise,
respect for you, to me, your children.
Respect
everybody.
to your family, your husband.
Thank
Just
you.
tell everybody I say what's happening.
Will do. T.I. is here. Make sure y'all check out Grand Hustle tonight on BET.
Yeah.